The couple that earns £65,000 each, their collective take-home pay will be more than the one person that earns 130. Honestly, if you don't take advantage of that, it's essentially leaving free money on the table. Hello everyone, my name is Mudipe and today we'll be talking about workplace pensions. Quick reminder before we start. Everything we cover is for educational purposes only. It shouldn't be taken as financial advice. If you do need personalized financial advice, please consult a licensed professional. Now, last week, we learned that sometimes the best investment is reducing how much you are losing. How much you are losing to taxes, how much you are losing to fees, and of course, how much you are losing to inflation. We also learned that time can be your greatest ally when it comes to investing. Today, we'll be looking at one other investment that most people that already have jobs actually have, and that takes advantage of that asset of time to really compound results. So the thing about pensions is they are what you would call forced savings. They are forced long-term savings. So long as you work, you have a 9 to 5, or you have a pension in one way or the other, you save into it and you are not allowed to touch it for a very long time. This is good. Now, to even make it more interesting, because in the UK, as within Nigeria, your employer is also mandated to contribute to your pension as well. And in some cases, increasing your contribution could also increase how much your employer also contributes. And the best part of this whole arrangement is it's invested before tax. So this is one investment that before HMRC or the tax authorities get their hands on it, you've already taken out that money and invested it. Now, of course, it's taxed on its way out, but the thing is, at that time, depending on how you structure your withdrawals, you'll probably be taxed at a lower rate because by the time you're withdrawing your pensions, you stopped earning your current high salaries. You've already gotten the benefit of the compounding growth of whatever returns you made on that investment. So you invested tax-free. It's generated returns. Those returns were reinvested tax-free for years and years. And then the result, the final outcome is now what is taxed only when you withdraw. So it's still a fantastic way to invest. The main issues some people have with it, myself included, is one, you can't touch the money readily. If you actually, for whatever reason, need it before you retire, or if you choose to retire early, you can't access your pensions until a particular age. So it doesn't consider some people that might want to retire before that age. And then two, it requires you to actually trust that the government, the authorities will not change the rules before you are actually ready to take that money. Those are some of the concerns people have. But trust me, the benefits, in my view, actually outweigh those concerns. But then again, as an immigrant, those are valid concerns. Because if they change the rules around immigration or change the rules around your pensions, sometimes it feels like a double whammy. But the truth is, when you look at the fact that it is a long-term compounding asset, a lot of time, pensions can actually outperform most investments that some of us have in stocks and other assets, because it is one asset that even if you are tempted to touch it or tempted to liquidate it, you can't. So you are forced to keep investing in it and keep it rolling for the long term. Now, for anyone earning above £100,000 per year, pensions could actually help you manage your tax liabilities a bit better. So as it sits today, once your annual income goes above £100,000 a year, you start to lose your tax-free allowance. One. And then for anyone that has children, they actually also lose their childcare benefits once their annual income goes above £100,000. Your pensions could actually be a way to avoid this. Now, if you look at your current expenses and you are okay to live below £100,000 per year, one way to counter that is keep your official salary below £100,000. And how do you do that? You basically make a voluntary contribution to your pensions. So you have that arrangement with your employer, and instead of paying you that extra income above £100,000, they could pay it directly into your pensions. It has a number of benefits. One, usually contributed tax-free, right? It's contributed before tax. So not only are you transferring the money that would have come to you, you're also transferring the tax that would have gone to the government into the pension. And then two, the national insurance that you would have had to pay on it also goes into your pension. And then the most important part of it is because your salary is still below £100,000, you keep your 12,570 tax-free allowance. So you are not taxed on that bit. So your overall tax liability, your tax obligation is reduced. Let me give you an example. If you have a couple where both of them earn, say, £65,000 per year, and then you have one individual who earns £130,000 per year, the couple that earns £65,000 each, their collective take-home pay will be more than the one person that earns 130, despite the fact that 65,000 plus 65,000 would give you 130. But the person that earns 130 has not only lost his tax-free allowance, the 12,500, that these two individuals would keep, the 65, they will both keep their 12,500 tax-free allowance, meaning they won't pay any tax on 12,500 out of the £65,000. But this person that is paid £130,000 would pay taxes on the full £12,500. And then two, because their income is still, they're in the higher tax band, so the maximum tax they're paying is 40% on the bit that is above £50,000. But this person is not only paying 40% on the bit between 50,000 and 125, he's also paying 40% on the 12,500, and then he will pay 45% on the bit above 125,140. At the end of the day, when you look at his net take home, it's going to be less than what these two people combined would take home. So that's one of the reasons why some people see some benefits in keeping their salary below £100,000. It's not an ideal scenario, and it's actually not helpful for the country, because if everybody is trying to keep their salary low, they won't spend so much, the economy won't grow, the government will get less taxes. In an ideal world, they should fix this weird tax loophole. One of the ways they've tried to address it is tweaking the pension contribution. So you need to consider the two things when you're contributing more money to your pensions. You need to consider the fact that you will still pay tax on it when it's coming out, right? But like we said earlier, you're probably going to pay it at a lower tax rate, because then your annual salary will probably be lower. Then two, there used to be a cap of £1 million where if you contribute more than that, you are taxed on the excess. But that cap has been removed now. You can contribute more than £1 million to the pension, and it can grow as much as you want. However, there's still a caveat. When you want to withdraw from the pension, when you're at the age when you can withdraw from the pension, once you exceed a particular cap, I think it's about £260,000 or thereabout. Once you exceed that figure, any cash you withdraw from that pension is going to be taxed at whatever the rate is that you are being taxed then. So if you're a basic rate taxpayer, then you pay the basic rate tax. But then, if you transfer that money, let's say you leave it for your children and they inherit it, or you transfer it to someone else. If you transfer more than £1 million in total, when you combine the amount you've withdrawn and the amount you transferred, if it exceeds £1 million in total, the excess will be taxed. The exercise for today is simple. Check with your employer. If they have an intranet that you can check, otherwise reach out to either your HR support or your payroll team. Confirm a few things. First of all, confirm how much you contribute. How much is your current contribution to your pension? Usually it's in percentage, because it varies. So confirm how much you contribute as of today. Confirm how much your employer also contributes. And then find out if by you contributing more, your employer can also increase how much they contribute to your pension. Because the employer match rules vary from employer to employer. What they are mandated to contribute In some cases, some employers go above. And in some cases, some employers would increase what they contribute only if you increase what you contribute. In some cases, you have scenarios where you might be contributing 3%, but if you increase what you are contributing to 5%, your employer would also increase what they are contributing. And honestly, if you don't take advantage of that, it's essentially leaving free money on the table because you're essentially doubling your money. You're doubling the contribution to your pension. Something else you should also check is if you've changed jobs before. So if you have more than one employer, find out the details of all your pensions. And if possible, consolidate them in one account. Find out the details of your current pension provider with your current employer. What's the name of the pension provider? And how can you access their portal so you can see how much your balance is? Then find out the details of your previous employers. There's a government website that you can actually use to check for this. I'll leave a link in the video description. So that's it for today. If you run into any challenges or have any questions on this, leave a comment below. I'll see you then.